Am I the asshole? For disobeying my mom and stepdad and telling my half-sister the truth. So I have a half-sister, Leah. Leah and I share the same mom, but my stepdad is her dad. My dad died a few months before my mom got married. My parents were not together when he died, and I knew my stepdad while my dad was still alive. My stepdad, for years, has tried to take over as the dad in my life. He wanted to adopt me and change my name. He tells people I'm his daughter and that he's my dad. My mom does the same. She was really angry with me for a couple of years for putting an end to the adoption dream. They decided that Leah didn't need to know, and so they have always told her we're full sisters, and it just took them a while to have her. Leah has often questioned why I call her dad by his name. It has always been something I have told my mom and stepdad they need to fix because I would tell her the truth someday. They said I was not allowed to. That I could see this as a chance to let my stepdad be just my dad and to stop with the childish nonsense that I have been keeping up for the last decade. Leah grew more and more questioning about it. So a few weeks ago, after telling my mom it would happen, I told her the truth. I showed her photos of my dad. Told her I still loved her. But that her dad was not mine. She asked if I disliked her dad. I told her simply he could never replace my dad. She told me she'd feel the same way if hers died and mom remarried. I told her I was glad she understood. She asked me if it made me sad or mad when people said the wrong thing about him being my dad. I said it did. That I didn't like it much, but that I tried not to hold it against people. When my mom and stepdad realized, I told Leah they were so angry. I was grounded for 3 weeks for going against them and for putting Leah in a bad situation. I argued back at the time that they were the ones who lied. My stepdad said it was not a lie because despite legally and biologically not being my dad, he was the one who was there. He would be the one walking me down the aisle one day. He would be grandpa to my future children. He's the one who will have been my dad for more than a decade. I told him he'll always be my stepdad of a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades, but the step will always be there. They are still angry and they upset Leah by correcting her and trying to make her call her dad my dad. So I feel bad that now she's got pressure on her for doing what doesn't upset me. It has been pointed out by my mom that it's all my fault. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, but your mom and stepdad sure are. You handled the situation with your little sister the way it should have been handled as soon as she started asking questions. Your mom and stepdad are treating your dad like a dirty secret, and that's just absolutely shameful. All I could think when I read what your stepdad said he will be in the future to you and your potential children is that he is acting in a way that if it were me in that situation, would ensure he wouldn't be a part of my life later on. Your 10-year-old half-sister is more mature than your mom and stepdad. Not the asshole. They are delusional and horrible into thinking they can erase your dad from your life. Honestly, every time they tried to say you're his daughter, I'd have spoken out. It's so disrespectful to your dad and to you. Your parents are massive AH. Not the asshole. Please get out of that house as quickly as you can. Your mom and stepdad are the ones acting childish. The adult thing to do is to admit the truth rather than live a lie. My dad literally visits the grave of my mom's first husband at least once a year and encouraged my older sister to have a relationship with her father's family. Your mom and stepdad are too immature to be proper parents. Not the asshole. What the actual heck is wrong with your mom and stepdad? It's all their fault. All of it. Every bit of it. They are actively lying about a situation that you don't want to be lied about, then get angry at you for correcting the record. Sorry, but that's their fault for being dishonest in the first place. Sorry that they have done this to you and are compounding it by being angry at you, but you did nothing wrong here. Not the asshole. Why do I have the feeling he is not the one who is going to walk you down the aisle? Not the asshole. Their fantasy isn't anyone else's reality. Not the asshole. Also, your stepdad is delusional. He has already planned your future. Who does he think he is? Whoever takes you down the aisle is your choice. Your kids will know that he is your stepdad and not their bio-grandfather. He does not get to decide any of this. NTA. No reason to hide from her. It's just the way it is. Nothing's changed. Your parents are the assholes. You are absolutely not the asshole. I'm so sorry they are trashing your dad's memory this way. You being honest about your own dad isn't as asshole behavior. Them lying about anything is asshole behavior. The only reason this had to be revealed to your sister is because of their lies. I'm an adult with stepkids, and that is weird. I would never try to take the place of their mother if something had happened to her. He has a very possessive need to be seen as your dad, and it's very odd. The most important thing is your sister doesn't mind and supports you. Do what makes you comfortable. In the end, they can't force you to do something you're uncomfortable with. Not the asshole. Some step-parents do completely fulfill the parent's role and become the dad or mom. But it can't happen if the original parent is still remembered, still so important to the child. Those that do replace the bio-parent are never those that asked for it themselves. It are those that are the parents you need, that truly care for you, that become the new parent. You just can't claim the dad title. You also can't claim the perks connected to that title. Like walking down the aisle, being the grandfather. For your sister, I think you handled it very well. Well done. Maybe he is your dad's skull and crossbones hash. Not the asshole. No step-parent can ever replace the parent. Unless the bio-parent is abusive or is no, your dad is no more, and makes no sense that they are trying so hard to replace him. The kid seems more understanding and compassionate rather than the adults here. It was not a lie, because despite legally and biologically not being my dad, he was the one who was there. He's technically wrong, the worst kind of wrong. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If the tables were turned and your stepdad died, he would want Leah to forget all about him and to be adopted by a new husband of mom's. Bet that would be different. He would be the one walking me down the aisle one day. He would be grandpa to my future children. It's bold for him to assume any of that will happen if he and your mom continue to try and force him into a role in your life you already see as filled. They can attempt to force you to change how you act and how you talk, but they can't force you to change your feelings. Ask your school counselor to support you in the situation and in general about your mom punishing you for not lying. Not the asshole. Tell him he could die tomorrow and you and Leah could have a new dad, and that person would be the one who walks you both down the aisle and be the grandpa to your children, and he will be erased, because he's not there and someone else is doing all the work. I hope you don't let that dude walk you down the aisle after this behavior from both of them. Not the asshole. Edited to a judgment. Since you put an end to the adoption by your stepdad, which I fully support you in declining, do you still have the surname of your dad, or did your mom change your surname without your permission? Because if you still have the surname you were born with, wouldn't your half-sister have eventually noticed and figured it out anyway? Not the asshole. That man-child is trying to fill a spot that's already filled. Why doesn't my daughter talk to me anymore? Your mom when you turn 18. Not the asshole. I'm being punished for telling the truth. Okay. I'll lie from now on. Love you. Not the asshole. I'll be the one walking you down the aisle. Yeah, not necessarily, dude. Not the asshole. Do you have any contact with anyone from your dad's side? Or by denying he existed, mom and faux daddy blocked them as well? Leah is lucky to have you and you for her. She sees ye pain snd everything. Protect her. And get out as soon as you can. Tar. Not the asshole, but I find it amazing that a 10 years old is more mature about this than your mom and stepdad. Also, it's them exerting that pressure, not you. Nothing in this situation is your or her doing. It is all on your mom and stepdad for refusing to accept the situation.